Big streamers are quitting Marvel Rivals and citing toxicity as the reason as to why they are quitting. What's going on, guys? It's Sam, better known as Samito. Welcome back to the channel today, where I don't want to know if it's toxicity or fatigue, whatever it might be, but Ninja recently came out and said that he was done playing with Marvel Rivals because the community is very, very toxic.
The community was just awful, bro. And then I think, like, there's just so many idiots in the community, man. I can't stand it. I mean, dude, like, I'm straight up just getting verbally abused in the game.
A lot of other people have said this too, though I took a bit of a break, mostly because, you know, I was just a little bit burned out, on top of the fact that the support sustain meta just is not very fun. This video should come out after my video talking about Luna Snow and how it's high time the developers address the elephant in the room that is Luna Snow's kit, 12-second ult, right? But let's talk a little bit about the toxicity in Rivals, and is what people are claiming true? Is Marvel Rivals super toxic, and is it so bad that people need to quit the game? Yes and no. It's been 6 months already. That is absolutely crazy. I can't believe it's been 6 months already, but there's a bit of fatigue around the game, right? You know, when you play a game religiously for a long period of time, a little bit of fatigue here and there, especially if some of the metas, like Season 1 and 1.5, and even the start of Season 2, are not that much fun and haven't figured out a lot of the big issues. Though, for me right now, Season 2.5 has been the most fun I've had playing Marvel Rivals since Season 0. I will say, like, there is an element of rank that is super toxic. Like, but that kind of goes with the nature of the genre. In a team-based shooter, you're going to rely on your teammates a lot. And when it's a solo queue environment, I don't want to say it's fundamentally flawed, but it is very team reliant. And frankly, people cooperating on the internet is not something that's going to happen often. Like, you're not going to get people who are going to come into it with the right mentality, especially in low ranks. Now, is toxicity a big problem in the game? Yes, there's always going to be people with big egos who want to ego or claim they have all the answers, who have short fuses, especially in the metal ranks. And the more casual your game is, the more you're going to see that kind of stuff. Now, do I think that it's the sole reason why people should not play this? Marvel Rivals unplayable because the toxicity is so bad? No, guys, it's not. It really depends on what you're looking for at the time. To be honest, my games this season have been less toxic than a lot of the games in my previous seasons. That could be for a variety of reasons, but I don't necessarily blame these big streamers for wanting to quit the game. I mean, there's a serious problem with stream sniping in this genre that you can't really do anything about, where, like, in Ninja's case, you know the guy's getting sniped religiously every game, right? It comes with the territory. So especially being a streamer in this genre, you're more prone to encounter toxicity just because you're a target for just people looking for entertainment. In Ninja's case, I think that weighs into it quite a bit. But no, to be honest, breaks are healthy, man. Like, sitting here and playing hero shooters 24/7 can be super, super draining. And, like, if you overplay the genre, I mean, look at what I used to do with Overwatch. Flashback. End of flashback. You know, I would burn the candle at both ends and grind out the game. I've been playing more Raid Shadow Legends than anything else, to be honest with you. And by the way, full production coming out on the Raid channel. Be sure to check that out. If you're a Raid Shadow Legends player, you're looking for a clan to join, we need some heavy hitters in our clan. We're taking down Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. We're taking down Hydra. We're working on Chimera. It's a good time. So if you guys play Raid, hop in the Shitters Clan. SHTRS. Shitters Clan. Let's go, baby. All right, come on. Not even an ad. Let's fucking go, okay? When you play this genre religiously, it's important to take breaks here and there, enjoy the casual aspects of the game. And to be blunt, I think Marvel Rivals is a more casual game. It's meant to be casual. The more seriously you play the game, the more prone you are to disappoint yourself. And the developers have outright said they are trying to make a fun, over-the-top hero shooter. They aren't going to sit here and, you know, obviously they do care about balance, right? But, like, look at Luna. She's been this way for a year. Clearly the most dominant support in the game ever since they nerfed Mantis in Season 0, right? Like, she just gets a pass on everything. That's because they want her to feel super. They want this stuff to be crazy. So if you're coming into playing Marvel Rivals under that mindset of, oh, esports ready, oh, esports this, esports that, I think you're approaching the game wrong. That's not to say you can't enjoy Rivals esports, but they've made it pretty clear what they're trying to do. And I think the competitive scene is actually going to flourish because of that casual appeal, because they want to get the average user in. The more volume that you have from everyday users at home, people who don't really give a shit if they're going to be toxic on the mic or not, right? That's going to be what it is. That's just going to be what it is. You got to change your mentality if you want to enjoy this game. The worst thing that's happened in this game is the support ults, straight up. Invulnerable support ults are not good for the game. I wish they would give more supports more abilities to survive, like Ultron, right? Where it's like, hey, you can still take this guy out of the sky, and more ults like Ultron. I think Ultron's the healthiest support they've had in the game so far. I know people don't like flyers that much, but that type of design is so much better than Infinite Sustain. It's not even close in my mind. Just my personal opinion, just my 2 cents, right? Look, if you're coming home and you're going after that casual player base, you're gonna run into way more toxicity online. Now, I honestly, just to be blunt with you, I much prefer this iteration of the game than Overwatch's, because Overwatch's report system is so trigger happy, it actually has diminished the experience, and I think it's literally driven players away from the game. As another example in the hero shooter genre, Overwatch is way more, it's way more sensitive, right? Please don't take that the wrong way, but you guys get what I mean. Overwatch tends to try to cater to a very hypersensitized audience, right? And Rivals is not, especially with it being in fucking China. Like, Rivals is not doing that shit, right? They're going after a way more broad spectrum player base, I would say, that's way less niche. And the encounters you're bound to run into because of that will certainly be more toxic. Like, it just is. But the grass isn't always greener, because what's the alternative? The alternative is a hyperactive report system that is flagging people who are just trying. And the reality is, of hero shooters, if you're playing the competitive mode specifically, toxicity is gonna happen. It just is. That's the nature of competition. You can't get rid of it. You just can't. You can try to do things to mitigate it, like giving people mute buttons and different things like that. But ultimately, you can never control these things. And the more you try to control them, the more problems you end up creating for yourself, right? In hindsight, especially with Rivals being a much more casual game, you introduce things like Roll Lock, which Overwatch did to make higher quality matches, which tends to be a more esporty game, Overwatch is, right? You introduce a lot of these restrictions that end up ruining the experience or making the game less fun for casual players who just want to get on and play these characters, which is what they're going for, by the way. It ends up ruining that casual experience, and that's just not what Marvel Rivals is trying to be. They've already said they're not doing things like Roll Lock. They've already said that this is what their design direction is. So, is the Marvel Rivals toxicity problem so bad that it's ruining the game? No. I think that you're just starting to see some people have some real fatigue, especially when most of the metas have been very support sustain heavy. So I think people just need a break. Like, I still think the game is good. I think the direction they're taking the game is fine. I'm liking a lot of these new designs. Their content cycle looks good. I think Marvel Rivals is fine. I don't think the toxicity is ruining this game. I think that some people might need to change their perspective on how they view the game, but are there going to be toxic people? Yes. Are people always going to be nice to each other on the internet? No, it's not going to happen. Is it to the point where it's ruining the game and making the game unplayable? No, I think people just need a break. So if you're one of those players that is having some fatigue, take a break. Go play something else. This game has been out for 6 months now. We've seen a couple different metas. It's not going anywhere. Their update cycle is continuing just because a couple streamers are finally feeling the burnout. Like I felt the burnout in Season 1. I stopped playing at Season 1.5 for a reason, right? And especially the start of Season 2. Take a break. People will be back. They're going to be in and out of this game, and it's really cemented itself as one of the staple multiplayer games that people are going to be talking about for years to come already, and that is not going anywhere. So those are my thoughts on the toxicity problem in Marvel Rivals, why a lot of these streamers are quitting. I think they just need a break, but I do think everybody will be back, especially when they start dropping new characters, new seasons. They are going to be bringing the heat, and I am excited for it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the toxicity issue. If you're new to the channel, hit that sub button. I'm going to talk a lot more about Marvel Rivals. Leave some comments down below about videos and subjects that you want to see me talk about. I'd love to discuss these ideas with you. Take care, guys. Much love. Peace.